All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Broadside Podcast. I am Andy Elliott, and today is going to be a little bit different of an episode. I don't have a guest. I just decided I was going to get on here and kind of read some stuff. Notes I've taken, some things I've written down, news stories, a little bit of highlights of some of the changes in the regs. It looks like, with hunting season approaching quickly, and most of the western states have already dropped all their draw results, the tags, special tag results. Washington, I assume, will be within the next couple days. Today being June 13th. I expect to see those by the end of the week. There was some tag changes in those special tags. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of that have already put in. That looked like the desert lost a handful of tags. Also, some of the other changes in the regs I noticed was actually early archery season and a handful of units added a few days. And then it looks like some of you whitetail hunters in some of the units around 154, 162, 163, 178. Looks like you guys all lost a day. For muzzleloader in modern season, at a quick glance, for muzzleloader in modern season, at a quick glance, everything kind of just has the same amount of days. But obviously, don't take my word for it. Get out in there, and we all need to do our part and read the regs thoroughly to make sure that we don't accidentally start breaking laws. Anytime any of that kind of stuff gets put out there, it never looks good, even if you do self-report. So with that being said, there's a lot of local events that are kind of coming around too, with the weather getting nicer around here. And a lot of these things are put on to help with wildlife conservation and funding for some of these organizations to help maintain our way of life. Some of those organizations being the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, BHA. They're hosting their annual Access Freedom Archery Shoot. It's June 24th and 25th. And they're looks like they're looking for volunteers. So if you volunteer, you get to go a day earlier and help set up, and then it looks like you get to enter for free. They pay your entry fee there. That's at the KBH Archers in Belfair, Washington. There's also a the Northwest Mountain Challenge. It's kind of going down. The Tamarack, Idaho one was just this last weekend, I believe. They're headed to Oregon. July 14th through the 16th in Hoodoo. And then it looks like Stevens Pass here in Washington, they'll be having that event the 28th through the 30th of July. So that looks like a fun deal to go to. I was excited. I'd planned on going there this year. And then, the injury to my arm, I can't really shoot my bow, so it doesn't look like I'm going to make that. I advise people or encourage people to go check it out. It looks like a good time, though. Also, if you are, struggling to fill tags, sometimes we all do. There's the Western Hunting Summit is getting put on. Stealthy Hunter, Brian Call, Ryan Lampers, the Peaks outdoor guys put this on, and it looks pretty cool. It's a couple weekends. The archery elk portion of it's happening June 15th through the 18th. And then June 22nd through the 25th for those looking for some backcountry elk and mule deer knowledge. That's that weekend. But it's some of the best guys in the Western hunting. They're, putting their time and efforts into helping people become successful. It's worth a trip. Also, it looks like Brent Benton is going to be performing there. I saw him post on his social. That's pretty awesome. Shout out to that guy. So there's a couple more events I'll be posting about the here in my social media stuff later on as it rolls in. Keep an eye. I try to post some stuff in the stories just to help people get involved, which I get into a little bit more later on. But so with that being said, some of the news stuff that's kind of been going on is the LT Murray Wildlife area in Kittitas County. Fish and Wildlife will be seeking public input on a draft management plan. The draft document will be available online on June 16th, and an open house will be held on June 21st at the Armory Building in Ellensburg. So that'll be open June 21st, Ellensburg. You can go there. The public can learn more about what's actually going on, and then you have the ability to provide some feedback there as well. The plan looks like it's going to be guiding various land management activities, including habitat enhancement, wildlife management, public access, and recreation. For the it's a 118,300 acre wildlife area that they're putting a management plan for together. Putting a management plan together for for the next decade or so. So if that's an area you frequent, it might be worth your time to go put in some public input and get your voice heard. The public can plan on between June 16th and July 14th through the you can comment on the plan. Sorry, June 16th and July 14th through the WDFW's website, email, and/or mail. The LT Murray Wildlife Area encompasses diverse habitats and species, serving as it's a critical winter range for deer and elk and bighorn sheep. Also, a bunch of endangered plants live out there as well. It offers various recreational opportunities such as hunting, camping, wildlife viewing, fishing, and more. The WDFW welcomes input from all members of the public, regardless of background or identity. Clearly, let's see here. Yeah. So, yeah, if that's a place you frequent, or if not, and you're around and you've got an idea of you want to be heard, go make sure that you run down to the Armory Building in Ellensburg those days and drop some knowledge. Moving on to the next thing. So if you guys listened to my last episode with Dane, Gary, Brian, and Jake, we talked a little bit about being present at Wildlife Commission meetings, maybe a playbook, an easy button for guys who are a little overwhelmed with that. And it sounds like, talking with the howl.org. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I said howl.org, guys, but it's howlforwildlife.org. And I just wanted to hop back on here and make sure that was crystal clear. You guys go to howlforwildlife.org. All righty, back to this shit show. They're putting together some good stuff. It's gonna be dropping real shortly. It might be even out by the time you hear this. As an easy way for everyone to get heard. We're gonna really need to get involved, and more than ever now, with this new wildlife management plan that they're bringing on, where they're basically trying to divorce hunters from wildlife management, and change a lot of things about giving us opportunities as outdoorsmen and women. So if that's something you do, which I'm assuming you do if you listen to this, you're going to want to get involved. We need to flood that place with people and interested in maintaining hunting and fishing in this state, because it's looking pretty dim at the time. So Dane, who I mentioned earlier, he's been putting on a couple of Zoom meetings to get people together to kind of coordinate this stuff. And he was in the last episode 9 of the podcast, and he's doing a great job at bringing a lot of people together. So if maybe you're interested in joining or just watching along, reach out to Dane. I can get, or me, for the contact info. We can get you hooked up. If you can't find Dane, I can find Dane for you. He's the guy to go to. So with that being said, the next commission meeting is June 22nd and 23rd. Of course, they're holding it at the Marriott in downtown Seattle at 800 Fairview Ave. But like I said, we need to get a large presence of people online and in person. It's getting kind of ugly, and now's the time. It's not hunting season, so let's go preserve hunting. But on a little bit of a lighter note, from an article I read in the Northwest Sportsman's Magazine, I guess it's not really that much of a lighter note, but it's kind of a good thing. It's a small win for us, I guess. The tribal co-managers of the Northwest Indian Fisheries Commission are expressing their disappointment and concern over the draft of the conservation policy that was announced by Lorna Smith, who I believe, I'm not sure if I haven't seen any update on the lawsuit that was filed against her, but I'm sure that they'll all protect their own. But they claim that they were not consulted during the development of the policy, which they find to be vaguely worded and potentially threatening to their harvest rights. The co-managers argue that preservationist policies conflict with their treaty reserved rights and hinder the shared management of resources. The co-manager, Representative Ed Johnson, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, has written a letter to the WFWC expressing these concerns and requesting, I'm not sure what WFWC stands for. What is that? Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission. Okay, idiot. Expressing these concerns and requesting a meeting to discuss the issues. The draft conservation policy is part of the ongoing discussion surrounding the reform of the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife and the Commission. Public feedback on the draft policy is being sought until June 30th, and input can be submitted via email or voicemail. The tribal co-managers emphasize the importance of including co-management as a foundation principle in the state's policies and actions related to species management. They want for more. They're calling for more involvement in the drafting of policies, and they're definitely stressing the significance of conservation and the present and future generations. The letter I've got pulled up here to, I guess it was to Chair Barbara Baker, in regards to Lorna Smith's policy. The Dear Chair Baker, the Northwest Indian Fisheries Commission and our members and our member tribes were not only surprised but deeply disappointed by the announcement of the Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission that the Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission has a new draft conservation policy out for public comment. Some of our tribal staff have been asking for co-manager consultation on this effort since they became aware of the drafts were in development. Yet none of our tribes were consulted in the drafting of this proposed policy. So it sounds like they're a little bit angry that they were kind of left out of the loop on this. So I guess that's another win on our side, maybe. But yeah, it's gonna be a short episode today. I just wanted to get in here and mention a few things that we've got going on with Dane, putting on these meetings and being involved. And I got to thank guys like Gary and Dane and Mike Hers, who put a lot of effort in for to get our voices heard. So yeah, if you're interested in any of those Zoom meetings or any more information, reach out. I can get you in contact with who I need to. Also, watch out for Howl's a great tool to help get your voice heard. They're a big thorn in a lot of these anti-hunter sides, and I enjoy being a part of that thorn. Also, I'm a member of the BHA, Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. They're always doing awesome stuff too, and events and cleaning up, our areas. So maybe looking to get involved in those guys too. It's pretty much all I got for today. Thanks for listening, and let me know, if there's any stories or news or issues you've got that you want heard. Please reach out. I just got to do this for fun. I want to help get the word out. I want to let my kids be able to grow up and experience the outdoors and the wilderness as freely as our parents did. So, thanks for your time.